Hey, it's me, Annalisa, with my spiritual friend. Hello, hello. As always, I am not a doctor, a lawyer, a therapist, or a financial advisor. If you need one of those, please seek those. All readings and divinations are for the purposes of entertainment only. I am finally on the mend, still a little congested. I ended up having a sinus infection after getting over the flu, so that's super fun. Oh, Sherry, thank you. I did do a reading for Sherry and it was a really, really lovely reading. And they are very different than what I do here, as she can tell you. Hi, Regine. You're welcome, Sandra. Yeah, I don't like no questions before I start, Regine. I even put that in my note today. So I'm going to look at let's see. I started at like 8:32, so you guys, please don't put questions. I'm going to start deleting some of these questions that were typed before because I don't want to get, first of all, it adds on a lot of time to my, extra time. I put this up here so that everybody knows I'm going live, but it's not fair to anybody, especially me, to have a million questions before I even get on here, because, it takes me a while to get through these. I think I deleted one I shouldn't have. Sorry, guys. Yeah, okay. Hi, Ken. I haven't seen you in a while. I always say haven't seen you guys. I just haven't seen your typing here in a while, I suppose. All right, I will start here at 8:32. AJ, you're up first. Sorry. My eyes, I think my sinuses are messing with them. Okay. What's coming up for you this week? What they're asking you to do is, it's not about what's coming up for you this week, is they're asking you to start learning how to center yourself and find balance so that you're not concerned at a week by week basis of what's going to happen this week. Because really, and I told my client this that I had a reading for this morning, she was absolutely lovely. And it was funny, I did a reading for her daughter last week, and that's how she found out about me. That's pretty much how most of my clients find out about me. It's just word of mouth, having somebody talk about me. And I was telling her, like, I don't want clients, I set my prices, you may feel they're high, right? But I'm actually pretty low compared to people who have as much experience as I have in the area that I live in. But I set them that way because I don't want to create a codependent relationship, right? So you should be able to move through your life and feel like, after you have a personal reading with me, feel confident and feel good about the reading you got, and that you can move through your life without having to get a reading from me every week or whatever. So the feeling I got around this is sort of like, you need to find your center and find your center of balance and start really trusting your own intuition more, because it's that feeling of nervousness of what's going to happen. Like, like a cat getting ready, like that's like just the image I got. Just to find your own center. I have a really great centering meditation on here. It's a very easy, simple one. But it's like sort of finding the core of who you are and trusting that, instead of when's the next shoe going to drop. I do feel like that comes from childhood, and having a childhood where there was a lot of, it feels like chaos and not a lot of stability. Even if your parents were always there, sometimes the way they behave creates a sense of instability. So it's just that feeling of learning to find that, like letting all of that go, learning to release that belief system. That's what I feel is really important for you this week to focus on, AJ. Sonia, dating and career. That's like a whole reading. So understand that when you guys come here, just ask one basic question or one simple question, because when you ask these full, like, tell me about career and life, like you're asking for a full reading. I could spend literally 30 minutes on career and life. So I'm just going to do a quick little thing. It might not be to the what you want, but you have to understand there's all these other people. And I really don't like spending an hour and a half on here to do this. So if I have to start knocking the time down to where it's 15 minutes, I will. But don't be greedy. Okay? Just ask a simple question. I wouldn't even give somebody a full reading like that in our psychic and our when we do seances after our church services, and when I've done them for holistic studies. I wouldn't even give somebody a huge, big reading. We're told to do like 2 minutes at the most, even in our church services. I don't know what this is, but it feels like at the end of February in career, I feel like kind of a letdown, like a drop in energy. Either that I've lost a project or something didn't go the way I wanted, but it just feels like a down drop, a big down drop. Just know that this is temporary, and it will pass. The feeling is like there's a gift sometimes in not having everything go the way you think or it ought to go, or how always having the positive outcome, because it feels like there's a really big learning experience in this that will actually catapult you. It feels like in April. So it's really important actually for this to occur. So don't get too down on yourself about it. Hi, Monica. I feel like maybe Anne Holloman, I keep getting around $3,000 is the amount I'm getting. I don't know if you consider that relative. $3,000 to somebody who makes 150 grand a year or whatever is kind of like, yeah, it's a good amount, but it's not like, but to somebody who makes $40,000 a year, that could be considered a windfall. So I don't know what you consider that, but I keep getting the amount of about $3,000 coming to you soon. Priya. It's interesting that you say out of the country. I actually feel like I'm settling down in the country, like in a more rural area. Because when I'm looking out over a hill, and almost like the way a prairie is, but it's like I'm on top of a hill or whatever, but it's like, there's a lot of tall grass and trees and stuff, but it doesn't feel like I'm in the middle of the forest or something like that. Beautiful. And a mild climate. I don't feel like I get really, really terrible winters or really, really hot summers. It feels a very pleasant, mild climate. Sorry, I was just reading some of your comments just to see if I could. Oh, I always think it's funny, Danny. Thank you. They always hold for review, like, and subscribe. Like I would tell you, please don't like this. Whatever. Please don't subscribe. Okay. Any tips how to get centered? AJ, I have on here somewhere, there's a centering meditation I have, and it's just a visualization of a white light, and it's about a 10-minute meditation. You can always lengthen it for as long as you want, but it's sort of like focusing your energy and the light within you and learning how to center yourself and expand it, and sort of using the own energy within you. Okay, I'm going back up, looking at times. Psh. Stop. I don't have my mouse hooked up right now. All right, Rosewater, what do I see coming for you in love in 2020? It still feels like you're out in the fall yet when your romance starts. It feels all out in October. Like meeting in October, things getting a little bit in November. So like sort of picking up and more solidifying themselves in November. That's how I feel for you. And I just feel like I'm more focused on work in the beginning part of the year, almost like I've gone on a lot of dates and I'm sort of like over it and like taking a break. And then October is sort of when it hits. I also feel like there's a huge connection to you in October and the fall, like almost like your energy is best at that time. I know it sounds silly, but I feel like a strong connection to like Halloween and your witchy energy. Sorry, lips very chapped. In October. Alessandra. So I want to say this because I think it's really important for people to understand when we do mediumship in this sort of sense. If you're like, why aren't they coming through? Some people don't come through because you're settled with their passing. You don't have a strong need or something to understand about their passing. So it's like, they're doing things on the other side. They aren't just like hanging out going, let me entertain you. We still learn on the other side. We still grow on the other side. We still heal on the other side. If they weren't particularly spiritual, I'm not talking religious because plenty of people are very religious, but not very spiritual here. They have a harder time. It's like trying to learn how to connect psychically. They have to shift their energy to come down to meet ours when we're communicating. So they have to learn that too. It's like, and if they aren't very spiritual on this side, it's a little bit more of a learning curve over there. So while I feel the energy of an older woman here, she's not like coming through super, super strong. Was her hair thinning? Because I keep feeling like not a lot of hair on my head. And I don't feel a male figure at all. But your sister, I feel like, has a lot of anxiety because I feel that where I'm like holding my breath in my chest. And I feel very scattered in my thoughts. I don't know if that makes any sense. So that would be the anxiety would make sense if she thinks, but I feel scattered, like my mind is racing. I feel like she will, and like, I'm sorry if I'm wrong on this, but like, so because this is like, well, I feel like she will be diagnosed with it, but she will be okay from it. So, that it will go into full remission and it won't come back as sort of the feeling I get that it will be okay. But I would be more concerned about her emotional and mental health as she goes through this. So finding a good support system for that is very important for her. And I also keep feeling like while she needs the emotional and mental support, to not make her feel like she's weak or can't do things, or she needs somebody to take care of her. Like, ask her, be there, offer your assistance. Like, I'm here if you need me, just let me know. It's never a burden. But reminding her that she's still a powerful being. It feels very important. Thank you, Blue Storm. I feel like my internet has been crappy lately. I'm sorry, guys. So I apologize if it is glitching. Um, Welcome anybody who's new, and to all my oldies. I appreciate you always being here and supporting me. No, I don't get paid by LaCroix. I don't get paid by you guys. I don't get paid by anybody. So, um, okay, Bonita. Bonita, I feel like yes, but in the fall. So it may be that you apply in the fall and then get accepted in January or whatever, but it feels like the fall being more significant rather than like applying in the spring and getting in the fall. And I hope I'm wrong about that. But yes, I do feel like you will find a nursing school. Monica. I don't know if you've been working on opening up your psychic gifts, but they actually said you'll speak to angels soon enough. So it's that feeling of like when I first started working on mediumship and like finessing and refining my skills in that, it was like wanting it to happen right away and understanding that like you have to build the base of your language. But it's that feeling of it's going to come soon enough for you. So just keep the faith. I don't know if that makes any sense. Regine, do I see you staying in Florida or do I see you living in any other states or country, please? I see you in Florida, but I also see you in like the islands. So not Key West or anything like that, but it feels like the Virgin Islands or Bahamas or something like that, or Jamaica or something. It just feels more island. So I see you actually doing like that part of the year and sort of. So Florida, but then going to there. So I feel like in Florida, staying in Florida for at least a year or two and then moving to an island. And I do see a trip out to Arizona or that area because it feels like the Sedona area, but that just feels like a vacation. It doesn't feel like a full thing. Hi, Mallory. Mallory, I don't know why I feel this, but I feel like you're going to be having more time with the kids and playing more of almost a 50-50 role rather than just sometimes they visit, because they feel like their mom really needs the support, that she's kind of struggling a little bit and needs a little bit more support. And it actually feels good for everybody. Music for the vibes. Any messages for you? He said speak clearly. So I don't know if you feel like your messages to people or your conversations with people are getting like mixed signals or something like that. You know, like when sometimes you text or email, sometimes you text or email and there's like a misunderstanding. So it just feels like making sure that you're really, really clear on your communication. It's very important for the next 3 months that this happens. Especially the next 3 months. And they're really highlighting March as being that too. Danielle, will your mother ever be cured of whatever is causing her leg pain for the rest of her life? It's already been 20 years. I feel like a pinched nerve. It feels nerve oriented. So it's like, have they done an MRI of her lower spine? Because it feels like they'll see something but it feels like a nerve related. It doesn't feel like it's an actual illness. It feels like a pinched nerve. And I do feel like it will eventually, like it's like finding the right person to listen to find the thing is like the feeling I get, that it will be eventually. It feels like almost like the nerve is being pinched by a disc issue or stenosis or something like that, narrowing of the spinal column. So it feels like they'll fix that and it will alleviate her pain. Ken, when will your house sell? It feels like you'll get the offer in March, but you'll close in April. So I don't know if it's like there's a long process of going through everything. I know in New Jersey it takes forever here, but that's what it feels like to me. Danny, as far as mediumship, it just feels like relax a little bit about it. Don't like breathe more and relax. You're actually doing it without realizing it. It's just because you've grown as a person, it sort of comes in a little differently and a little bit more subtly, but it'll start opening up more just the more you relax about it and sort of just, like allow and go with the flow. When you notice the little things, start acknowledging them and like sort of creating like a subconscious or database dictionary for what things mean and how they feel. And gratitude, lots, always, always, always gratitude. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for being clear. The woman I read for this morning, she was like, I mean, you were on point about everything. And I said, well, make sure we thank our guides because really that's who's giving me the information. I'm just translating. They're telling me everything. So it's not me giving you the information. I mean, I'm just translator basically. So it's acknowledging them and the work that they're doing for you. Isha, why do you keep asking about Akshay? I hear the feelings haven't changed, that it still remains as I said last time. I don't remember what I said, but they just said it hasn't changed. Oh, I forgot to look up the deer thing. In fact, I need to write a note because the person today, I need to look up something for her too. So, Sherry, I will message you after this with the deer thing because I don't remember. Deer is, they represent watching your communication and speaking. So like being very gentle with your communication and being very aware of who you're talking to and how you're speaking to them, that they need a little bit, softer delivery. So I need to look up another one from today. Forgot to do that. Let's see. Monica, I already gave you one. Please, 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 please only type your question once. If you typed it more than once, go through and remove it for me. It gets me tripped up on going back and forth between finding things and seeing where I'm at. So I'd really, truly appreciate that if you can go through and just delete any times you have written it a million times. And then you're welcome. Yeah. Rayshella, I'm sorry. I'm seeing some of what you've typed, and I'm really sorry. Hey, there's 46 of you here. Hit the thumbs up, y'all. Come on. Just while I'm quick scanning stuff. First of all, I forget half the stuff I say within 3 seconds of saying it. It's called psychic amnesia. It's nothing personal. It's just what happens. Second of all, write your question only once. And if you want to learn about manifesting, seriously, the best place I've seen somebody teach about it is that guy, Joseph, Ally, ALAI on his YouTube thing. He's got a lot of great videos, and I will probably every week tell you about it because I really believe that the techniques work. I've had them work for me. And even when I look back on my life and the things that I've manifested in my life, how I've done it, it's always been the way he's taught it. So not that he's just fairly new, but I've seen like looking, and reflecting on it. So it's a great place to learn if you're looking at wanting to manifest things. Okay, sorry, I gotta go find my questions again there. Danny did, Ken, I did. And that. Okay, EQ. Can I sense the medical problems may be for myself, Dad? Wait, huh? EQ, I don't understand. Can you sense what the medical problems may be for myself, Dad, besides memory loss? Doctors can't find an issue, but there is one. I feel like it's a combination of things. I keep getting pulled more towards like having, like being prone to bladder infections. But I also feel like some vitamin is off, like I don't know if they've tested his vitamin work. And then have they tested him for Lyme's too? So it feels like a combination of stuff. I don't feel Alzheimer's per se. I feel like other underlying issues that are creating that. Of course, always I can be wrong. I do know you're seeking help, but that's sort of what I'm feeling. I don't know if any of that, when you look it up, sort of stuff fits, but it feels like a couple different things. Welcome, Taylor. Priya, do I see you moving out in your new future? You want to sell down out of the country? Is that possible? Anything's possible if you want it to be. And that's where, Priya, the manifestation moves into your life. So I really would check that out. I don't see movement outside of the country for a while, like as far as anything beyond just a vacation. It feels like 10 years out yet for moving and living full time outside of the country. There may be short-term periods where you do it, but I don't feel like a long-term until at least 10 years out. I actually don't feel like you're staying permanently anywhere very long. So I don't know if you have a job where you have the ability to move a lot, but it feels like moving a lot. Literally every 6 months to a year, I feel like I'm moving and changing what I'm doing. So I don't know if you do some kind of diplomat thing or travel nursing or whatever it is, but it just feels like I'm doing a lot of movement, but I'm gainfully employed. So it's not because I'm homeless and living on everybody's couch. G Willikers. Sorry. Oh, speak your truth, own your decisions, and stand your ground. So it feels like, being a little bit of a people pleaser and like not wanting to offend people or whatever. And it's sort of like, no, just be who you are, say who you are, own your decisions, just say like, this is what I'm doing and be cool with it. And know that your life and your journey is your own and that you don't have to do anything to please others or make them happy or, fall in line so that, they need to live their journey. It's not about invading your boundaries and things like that. So set your boundaries, stand your ground. You have every right to it. Hi, Mystic Dreamer. Hi, Dusty Rose. Welcome, welcome. Will you get in a relationship anytime soon, Alessandra? It feels about 3 months out. It doesn't feel like a long-term relationship, but it does feel like something nice and fun. And it sort of, they said, keeps you distracted for a while. So I don't know if you need to be distracted, but that's the feeling I get. Do you tend to get bored easily in relationships? That's what I just heard. You get bored easily. Breezy, will you pass your, oh, hang on. I need to end all the questions because that's where already 30 minutes end. So at this time, I will, for you new people, I will not be taking any new questions, but I do catch up on all the other ones that I haven't answered yet. So don't worry, don't panic. I'm still here for the long haul. It's why I don't take any questions from before I go live, because otherwise it clops on too many. If you notice, I'm still on 8:34 and I came on at 8:31, I think, or something. So 8:32. So I'm still in the first 2 minutes of all these questions. Yes, you will pass your math class, Breezy. And as far as you and JX, I feel like you'll get back together, but I feel like you're sort of going to go, I changed my mind. So that's kind of what I feel there. Like you'll get back together, couple of will be temporary, and you'll sort of like bounce out of that again. Hi, Sandra. Oh. I'm sorry about your loss, though I feel like honestly, it's really, 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 truly for the best. I feel like actually for the next several months, you're going to sort of work on healing yourself and figuring out what it is you want, and like becoming really clear on that. And then I feel like you'll start dating after about 3 months or so. It doesn't feel like anything serious for at least till the end of the year into next year, but it feels like going on dates and sort of like figuring out who you are, and not finding healthier relationships and not being in codependent relationships, and sort of finding that self-worth to know that you are worth someone fully being able to invest in you and not being just showing up partially. Omar feels like he's like a little bit of a crush on you. So still very early phases of stuff. Oops, I think I wrote Omar, but I meant Iman. Sorry. Balance C, your son's single and a bit lonely. You need someone to share. He needs to put himself out there. I feel like he sort of is a bit of like a introvert and kind of keeps to himself. And if he wants to find somebody, he really needs to put himself out there. And that's what they're showing me. Like that he needs to learn to put himself out there. I also feel like he's kind of a woe is me. I call it the Eeyore energy. Oh, like, and really what would benefit him is shifting his perspective, because he has a pretty good life. Like he's got a good job and trying to fix my hair. It looks like a helmet. Sorry. He's got a good job and he's a smart guy and he has a lot to offer, but he just like, it's like he expects life to just fall on his lap, and kind of relationships don't really do that. So sweetest rain. It's always nice knowing you can come back to rewatch the videos. Yes, you can. Ken, I already answered that. Britt L, I mentioned you and your family move this year. When and where does it look like? It doesn't feel like you'll be far from where you are now. Like either, New Jersey towns are all so close together. So it's like, but it feels like the town over. So I don't know if that's how it is where you're at, but it's like, it doesn't feel like I'm too far if I'm moving. And it just feels like either like not just, it just feels like more open or more something more home-like, or like this is my home too kind of feeling, not like I'm just moving in. And I feel either you're looking or you're putting in an offer. It's June or July, because I'm feeling one of the J months, not January, obviously. Let's see, that was for Britt. You're welcome, Balance. Happy vibes. I'm not taking any new questions. Danielle Price, no new questions, please. Okay. Oh, Kitty, thank you for answering that. Yes, hit the bell for future live readings. I'm always here on Sundays. It might get a little hinky, just so you know, in April, my husband's having some major surgery the second week in April. So that's like the week of Easter, whatever. So I'm not sure. Depending on how he's doing, I'll kind of keep you guys posted. If I have 1,000 subs, then I can put stuff, but just so you know, because once he's had his surgery, I'm basically full-time everything duty for the house. So we will see how it goes, but I will try and keep doing these. I may have to move them and do them at different times than on Sundays, just depending on how, because I'll be he won't be able to lift anything over 5 pounds. So yeah. That means I got to do all the garbage and everything. Oh man, I got to do his laundry too. He usually does his laundry. Okay. Sorry, Taylor. How's Logan feeling about you? You feel very young. He feels young. So he's like, all right. Like, it doesn't feel like love, and oh my God, it just was like, yes, all right. Like, trying to play it cool. That's sort of the feeling I get. Trying to play it cool. I feel like in the next couple of months, you'll sort of be over this guy. That girl Bricks, can I tell you what will happen for you in love? I feel really tight in my stomach with you right now. Like my solar plexus chakra is so tight, and do you worry a lot about what people think of you? Because it's that feeling of like worrying a lot about others' perception and how they're going to receive you and how they're going to take everything, and like you're always worrying about how other people are going to be, and it's sort of like you got to get over that. And the feeling is that until you get over that, you're not going to really find a great person, because you're going to be always worrying about the other person in a relationship. And it's always going to sort of be this codependent thing. Doesn't mean nobody can fall in love with you or that you're not worth love. You so are worth it. And that's like, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that you'll sort of always kind of attract these people that are really not going to fully value you. And it's not because you're doing anything wrong. It's just the energy sort of feel of like, once you know that you don't need outside validation and need to worry so much about other people, it sort of shifts who kind of comes into your life, and you find more balance in the relationships. Hang on, Nisha, I'm coming back to you. Just want to see. Aries guy, really? Is there a recall on cat food Friskies? Dude, come on. Don't be a jerk. Pygmisha, no more questions. That girl Brooks, I don't know if that makes any sense. Hoping it does. All right, Naisha, how does Jay feel about you? I literally heard your guys say, don't waste your time. So I feel like, I mean, he's nice enough and all, but you could do better, is the feeling I get. Rachel, thanks for subscribing. Um, Hi, Shauna. Can you find your way out of that relationship without involving lawyers? I actually do feel like you could do it with, they're saying a mediation, but I feel like, I don't know if this person is a malignant narcissist, but it's that feeling of like when you have someone like that, they're never going to give you a fair deal. So it's like needing to have somebody else there to sort of have your back and be your voice so that you don't get totally screwed into the ground. Hi, my Michelle. Nice to see you. It's been a while. Contemplating a new job. I do feel like it's a good call, actually. I feel like it'll be really, really good for you for growth and that you'll really, really enjoy it. And it's a good group of people. Mary. I feel like as well as can be expected, your brother is very touchy. Like it's that feeling of like everything has to be just so, or you like it's like so but it will be as good as can be expected. It won't be perfect, but also the thing I'll talk about like in these situations, if you want to manifest, don't manifest to change the other person and have them be perfect, just manifest for you to not be triggered by their stuff, so that like it sort of like shifts the energy and then like they sort of kind of calm down and don't do anything. That's one of the things I've manifested with my kids, is that, you know, when my kids get upset or they're like sort of like emotionally kind of, you know, when they're still little and they're having a hard, you know, they're just learning how to deal with their emotions and what all these feelings are, is for me to not be triggered by it, because then they sort of like remain on like a lower level. They don't go to like, you know, Mach 10 with like, oh my God, I'm so sad. The world is terrible. Like they just like sort of stay a lot lower. So it's like, so manifest for you to not be triggered by that. But I feel like as well as can be expected, it doesn't feel terrible, but that's what I feel. Mystic Dreamer, what do you need to know right now? I literally feel watch your diet. For you especially, I feel like you're very empathic, and I feel like it's really important for you to pay attention to what you're eating. And like it sounds strange, but if you're a meat eater, it feels like buy koshered meat. So it's not because it's because the way that they kill the animal is much more humane. So it feels like you need to be very like aware of what you're eating and ingesting in your body. And it even feels like, so when we say prayers over food and we say gratitude, you know, and like when you learn in your religious thing to thank God, I actually look at it as like, I'm not thanking God, I'm thanking the souls of all of those individuals that brought the food to me, that were made it possible for me to have the food, and of the soul, like the energy of the fruit and the energy of the tree or the plant and the energy of the animal, and asking for blessings upon those things. It creates a better balance as you ingest your food and everything that goes in. So I'm not a vegetarian. I still eat meat, but I do think about that. And I also am conscious of the type of food I'm eating, because I am an empath. And that's like sort of actually what feels important for you right now. Yes, a kitty's corner, you will reach your goal. And I actually feel like you'll go beyond your goal. It'll be very nice, pleasant surprise. Aries guy, how does Laura feel about you? Does she think about you sexually a lot? No, I actually think Laura doesn't really feel much about you. So that's that. Gabriella, will you get a better job soon? Yeah, yes, but it doesn't feel till June. So it feels like almost something either has to open up, like someone has to leave or whatever, or actually the position has to be created to be available. But it feels like in June. Nicole, my future with a company that you work for. What? Nicole, can you just elaborate that question? Are you, because it's kind of not a complete question. Katie Mack, will you be moving to Arizona this year? Soon, you hope. I actually feel not until August. So it feels a little bit away, but you will be. And remember, do your manifestation. Really and truly, it works. Telling you. AP. Why does M feel the need to try and get your attention on social media? Why is he doing it? I think she's just really immature is the feeling I get. Just very childish games. Hi, soul healing. Maria, any advice from your guides? This is weird. I don't know if you're thinking of selling something. It's like they said, sell your things. And I would never tell anybody to do that. But I don't know if you like, you've like got this stuff at home and you're like, I need to get rid of it. Like, I'm just like, it's like needing to clear things out, but they're sort of like saying, go ahead and sell it. Like the things that you no longer use, right? Or no longer feels like selling them. Don't just like let them sit there. I don't know what that means, but I would never tell anybody normally that. It's very strange. Does that make any sense at all? Maria? There are no mods. It's just me. Only me. That's all you get. Oh, your future with the company that you currently work for. Smack that like button. Yeah, hit the like button. Put the Oreos down, Mystic Dreamer. Well, you know, it doesn't. I feel like you're going to come upon something. This sounds so weird, and I never get anything totally weird about this, but it's like they said sell something. So it feels like you're going to come upon something and you're like, it just feels like, I don't know what it is. They're talking about tickets, so I don't know what this means. Okay, the other thing that they're telling me is that it's okay to make yourself a little bit more vulnerable. Like they show me you holding your cards really tight and never wanting anybody to see your cards and like being very, very protective of what people see and who you are. And they're saying it's okay to make yourself a little bit more vulnerable, that you'll find the world will open up for you. Because I feel like it's that feeling of like, well, people aren't as friendly with me or people don't really know who I am, but you sort of have to like make yourself vulnerable for people to see like the really great spirit that you are. And I don't know if that makes any sense, Maria, but I hope it does. Just y'all, Oreos are, oh my God, there's these ones. We always buy all the new like different flavors just to even try them. Not that we necessarily eat them all, but there's like the chocolate marshmallow ones. Oh my God, they're really good. Not recommending them if you're diabetic, of course, but if you're not, I don't like the double stuffed. I don't like the mega stuffed. I really actually could care less about the stuff in the middle. But the chocolate marshmallow ones are really good. Okay. Okay, Nicole, your future at your company. I don't see any changes for at least the next 18 months. I feel like it's like holding steady for the next 18 months, Nicole. Okay, hang on. Katie, Arizona did. Okay, Taylor did. Did APs. Hey. Jada, any spirit messages? Jada, are you still here? Do you get headaches and anxiety? Because that's the first thing I feel like, these headaches and and I just feel like anxiety around it. Benita, I did answer yours. Jada, are you still here? I'll wait a minute and come back and see if you answer that, but I just felt such headaches and anxiety. Princess Nye, do I feel you dating this year? I don't. It's weird. They're making me feel like, though, this is the time where you're actually sort of like, when you make like some dishes where you use bones for you use them actually for flavoring, and then they're talking about roux and everything else. It's like you're making the base of something right now that's going to parlay in next year, where you're really meaning something. But it's like sort of that feeling of like, right now what you're building is really important, in building in your self-worth and your self-esteem, so that it ushers in next year a really great relationship. But it feels like needing to really focus on the base of it right now, which is you at the core. That's Princess Nye. Let's see, Jada, did you answer? Did you say anything? Jada, are you here? You're welcome. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, Princess, but that's a feeling I get. Oh, I did, Bonita. I must have, Bonita. I'll get to you. Rochelle, I'm not taking any new questions. I have no idea why your question was after Aries guy. I didn't, let me see. I didn't see your question at all, Rochelle. That's the first time I saw you tonight. So I'll get to you. Oh, there you are. And I don't know why this Aries guy asked his question like 8 billion times. And it's actually really kind of, Rochelle, I do feel like you will get promoted in spades. And that Aries guy typed his thing a million times. Hey, Aries guy, you do that again, I'm going to block you, okay? Because I already said it specifically, and it's also sort of like a question. I'll answer it, but you're really kind of, it's annoying. Blue Storm. Any for startup school? What do you mean by that for a startup school, Blue Storm? And it just may be a language thing where I'm not understanding, obviously. Emily, you're leaving on a trip this week, coming up traveling with 2 little ones. Well, it'll go fine. I actually feel like you're going to find out that there's a lot of people who are going to help you along the way. So it's not going to be an issue at all. It's going to be just fine. I keep feeling pack lollipops. Pack lollipops. It seems like it's going to be very important. I brought my kids with them, but it feels like it's really important. Pack lollipops. I'm just going to put Emily A. Michelle, I answered yours. KK, will you meet a new love connection during your travels in April? I actually feel like, yeah, but it's going to be a very temporary thing. Nothing long lasting. Is your idea or invention of Easy Tie successful? No, but I feel like it's going to lead into the next thing that will be. Dusty Rose. So it's like important for you to have this because then it's going to sort of parlay into whatever this next thing that you come up with is. Surfing Bunny, what career should you choose? Hang on. I don't know. They're not like, it doesn't feel traditional, right? So I don't feel like I'm going into business in the sense that I'm going into an office every day. It feels very active, right? So it feels like either maybe you're a personal trainer or something like that, because I feel just very active. But I still feel very helping someone. So I'm not sure why that, but it just feels like I'm so maybe you're a physical therapist, maybe you're a chiropractor or something where I'm doing physical things, but I'm helping people. And somehow you're like a sports, whatever is moved into it. But again, I don't feel like I'm formally like going to an office every day or doing something like that. Rachel, you feel like your grandparents have been trying to speak to you. Rachel, they're showing me a triangle and I don't know what that means. Like, but like the, the little, so I don't know if you've been hearing like little bells or little chimes or something like that. And I do feel like that's them, but it's like, just, I'm hearing like a little bell ringing or chime ringing or something like that. It's not even so much that they're like trying to give you some grand message. It's just, they're letting you know they're around. Rashella, is there a list? Two family members. Again, your mother and your brother. I'm sorry about that. Lauren Jane, any messages for you? They're asking, so it's like feeling into the truth of who you are and asking yourself, like, well, how do you feel about this? Like, I feel like you're always worried about, again, it's another person. Sometimes you guys congregate and kind of have the same personalities and energies that kind of meet in the room for the evening. So this one is just sort of like, you're worried about everybody else's and how everybody else is doing. And you sort of like find out about yourself last. If you feel okay with something, or if you're okay with the situation, they're sort of saying, well, how do you feel about it? So start asking yourself, well, how do you feel first? Don't stop waiting for somebody else to ask you, or hoping someone else will be concerned about you instead of you always being concerned about everybody else. That's a very codependent relationship again. So it's sort of like, how do you feel about this? Are you good with this? Because maybe you need to set a boundary here. That kind of a thing. It's like really learning to set your own boundaries and kind of asking yourself first how you feel. So, Rachella, what I'm going to say to you is this. Yes, they are together. I feel like both of them are working on a lot of healing. It feels like, honestly, I don't feel like you're the only one that was depressed. I feel like they were sort of suffering from the same. And understand that grief comes in waves, and it is not something anybody can say, this is how long it lasts and this is how it works, because it's the whole process of grieving is sort of different for everybody. And while some people have commonalities, nobody experiences grief the same. And so sort of be gentle with yourself that when you're experiencing it, that it's okay and that it will pass, that it's not always going to feel this deep and this powerful, that you will always sort of grieve them, but it will not always be quite so intense. I really, really encourage you to find a grief support group, so that you have other people to help you in this that are also going through it. I feel like the gravity of it, sort of like the bulk of the heaviness of it is like April, May, June, like sort of we're going through that. And when June comes, I start to sort of come out of it. I also do feel like you're very sensitive to what do they call it? Seasonal affective disorder. Like I'm very sensitive to not getting a lot of sun and sort of the colder winter months. But it feels really, really important for you to make sure you're finding a good support group. Baby face, yes. And they're saying sort of like move into owning your own as a grown up. And it's just funny because your name is Babyface, but they're like sort of saying like, step up to the plate more because you're much more capable than you believe, right? So there's a lot of like things that women, and I've talked to, because, I'm 41. So a lot of my friends are around the same age. And it's sort of like, as you go into your 30s or whatever, sometimes you feel like you're not as qualified because you don't have this age and wisdom or whatever, when it's sort of like, yeah, you're totally qualified and you need to step into that and own that about yourself. That is the feeling I get. That's very important for you. Baseman, hello. Can you trust the doctor you work with? Meaning as a practitioner or as a business partner? Because as a practitioner, I feel like they're smart and they know what they're doing. I feel like they may need a little bit of a fire lit under their butt as far as like a business thing. Like, it isn't that they're not going to hold their own or whatever, but it's just like they're sort of help need focusing and reminding. Benita, what does Christopher have for you? I don't know why I'm seeing a note and a locket. I can be wrong on that one, but Taylor tries pulling up. I answered your question. Therese. Hello from California. If drawn, please, anything from other side of family. Family issues here. I'm not getting any spirit like of those people, if that's what you're asking. I don't have any mediumship stuff kind of coming through, but I keep seeing like arguing, bickering, like I'm saying all these things, blah, 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 but it's like nothing's coming through clear, and it's almost like a glitchy type thing. So it's obviously more symbolic than literal, but it feels like I'm trying to get things out. I'm trying to communicate, and I'm frustrated, and it's sort of like taking a step back and breathing and really reevaluating the situation and looking at it from a different perspective. And it feeling like if you can step back and reevaluate and look at it from a different perspective, you'll see that you're coming at it from the wrong angle, and you're putting value in things that aren't important. And it will start to help heal what's going on. All right, rah. Can your brother-in-law's third brother think about you? No. And you don't want to marry into that family anyway. That is what I heard. Okay, so I finished up everybody's questions. Happy vibes. Everybody else, please come back next week. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Let's get these numbers up to over 1,000, right? So then I can type little notes to you guys and let you know what's going on. I really appreciate everybody all the time showing up and being here. I've had some really amazing clients lately doing private readings, and I'm getting to really meet and know a lot of really nice and wonderful people. And if anything, this kind of shows you that good people are out there, and kindness really matters. So go out and spread kindness, be kind. It is an act of self-love. Sky Ocean, what time did you post your thing at? Blue Storm, I didn't. Kimberly, I'm not doing any new readings, but I'll be back the following Sunday, and I am always here at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's how you get a reading. You just post your question, get in here before the 30-minute mark, before I've typed. I'm no more questions. And I stay until I answer all of them, because I'm a glutton, for punishment. Just kidding. 30, 40 minutes ago, I ended them right about 9. Okay, hang on. Sky Ocean, it might be after I ended my questions. That might be why. Good night, Mary. You already went to bed. Blue Storm small business program. It just feels like, I don't know, whatever it feels like doing, not like online, but it feels like maybe a community, like a community college first, and sort of getting a certification. I actually think that maybe even all you need to then opening up your own business. But I feel like doing something that way versus doing an online program will make you feel more confident in what you're doing. Um, yeah, I think. Oh, that's why I didn't answer your question. Um, Seven Oceans, I'm not answering it because I think I already closed all of everything. Yeah, I think. Ugly woman. Well, that was rude. If you're gonna be rude, I'm gonna block you. Bye. Suze AKO 23. You don't have to be here. Have a lovely evening. Um, I'm trying to see if it's before. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ocean One, I don't see your question, and I think it's after where I closed it off. Um, Okay, I'm sorry. Come back next week. I'm tired. I'm still on all my antibiotics and everything else. Hi from the Philippines. Welcome. I've never seen anybody here from the Philippines before. Subscribe and like, hit the bell so that way when I go live next time, you guys, I'm here weekly. So if you didn't get in here this week, trust that the universe has a reason for it. How about that? That's what I always do. I just trust the reason everything falls into place perfectly. And so you guys come back. I don't. Hi from Australia. Pamela, you're back. I have closed the questions, but I will be back next Sunday. So y'all, thank you again for being here, for showing up. Have a wonderful week. Hopefully nobody gets sick from any funk that's out there, be it the flu or the coronavirus or whatever. Stay safe, stay healthy, good hand washing. Remember, they're all droplet precautions. So stay 3 feet away from coughers. All right. Have a good night. Sweetest dreams to you all. Happiest day if you're in your daytime. I'm going to bed. Goodbye.